Welcome to Wisdom of the World. Today I'm going to tell a story from the Sudan. It is about how to deal with your in-laws. And it's called The Farmer Who Met His Match. And it goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a farmer in Sudan who had a son. Now, the farmer was a businessman. He was a smart businessman. And he always liked to put his son to the test. So he always gave him very difficult problems to solve. Now, the son was a kind of a dreamy guy. Nice, not smart, but not the kind of businessman his father wanted him to be. But he sort of put up with all the requests that his father made. One day he asked his father whether he could marry a certain girl that he had met. And the father said, well, I first want you to show me that you are a good businessman. So I give you this issue to deal with, to solve. I'm going to give you a sheep, and I want you to sell it at the market for the best price possible. But at the same time, I want you to save a pound of the meat of that sheep, and I want you to save a pound of the horns of that sheep. And the boy goes, but father, that's impossible. Yeah. And then the father smiled and said, yep, well, that's the challenge for you to solve. So the boy argued no more, and the father gave him the sheep, and that was it. So the boy goes to the girl that he wanted to marry, and his face was really desperate, and the girl said, well, what is the problem? And he says, well, my father, who I asked for his permission to marry you, gave me this to do. And the girl said, your father indeed is a smart businessman, but that task is not impossible to do. And he said, oh, really? How? Well, she says, first thing that you should do is you should shear the sheep, shave the hair of the sheep, and then spin it and make wool out of it and make a nice scarf out of that. That sells really good and probably will get you a price which is maybe half of the value of the sheep. So you're already making a lot more profit. Your father would be happy. And then she said, you would have to cut off his tail. She looked at the tail and said, well, it's about a pound of meat. Then you have your pound of meat right there. And you should also cut the horns off the sheep. And then you have your pound of bones. The boy thought this over and thought, wow. He said, yes, but she said, even a tailless and hornless sheep will still get a very good price because it's a beautiful sheep and it's homebred. So the boy did as his girlfriend had suggested him to do. And he did, and everything went really well, and he went home, and his father was very impressed. And his father, of course, being vain himself, thought that this is because I always raised him solving such difficult problems, so now he turns out to be such a good businessman. And so he agreed to that marriage, and they got married. And after a couple of days, the father already noticed that maybe it was the girl who solved the problem, not my son. This sort of hurt his vanity, hurt his ego quite big. So he decided not to ask anything anymore for a while because she may be able to solve it. Yeah. But old habits die hard. So he still wanted to try it. So one day he said to his son, and he spoke quite loudly so his daughter-in-law also could hear it, says, okay, I'm going to work late in the fields today, and so please bring me a meal for the midday with your unborn son. And then he immediately went out and closed the door. And the son goes, what? Unborn son? I mean, this is impossible. Yeah. And his wife said, don't worry, let me handle this one. So in the afternoon, she took out a horse and dressed it up, and she dressed up in really expensive clothes so she could look like the mayor of the town, of the village. And she drove up to the field, and she drove up to where her father-in-law was working, but he didn't recognize her because he thought she was the mayor. And she said to him, what are you doing? And he says, oh, I am planting corn right now. And then he says, okay, great. Well, give me 2 sacks of ripened corn right now. And he said, but, you know, Mr. Mayor, that's impossible. Are you saying, she cut him short, that you are disobeying my orders? And he said, oh, and then she commanded a few farmhands who were helping the farmer there, stretch this guy out, put him on the ground, and give him lashes on the soles of his feet. That was a common punishment in those days for disobeying my orders. So these farmhands also didn't want to disobey the mayor. Who were they? So they did, and they hit the farmer on his soles, you know, with a twig. And then the mayor reined in the horse, never got off the horse, and went back home. So late that afternoon, you know, terribly hurting, the farmer limped home. And his son did not know anything because his wife had not told him. And his son asked him, so, what, Father, what happened? Yeah. And he says, it's all, and he was furious, it's all because of that stupid mayor. Yeah. Doesn't he understand that I cannot give him the corn that I'm just about to plant? It's ridiculous. You know, how can I do that? And then the daughter-in-law says, it is no more ridiculous than asking your lunch to be brought to you by your just conceived unborn son. And then the father understood. And from that day on, he never asked anything of his son or daughter-in-law. Now, why am I telling you this story? Because in-laws, you know, traditionally have a hard time pleasing their new parents. And the relationship between a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law, or mother and a daughter-in-law, is, you know, traditionally, let's say, fractious at best. It's complicated. But I think it doesn't need to be. My advice is that, and to any daughter or son-in-law, is just be kind and loving. That will resolve any sort of resentment that the new parents, the in-laws, may have. And of course, if you are smart, like the daughter-in-law in this story, that's an added bonus. If you have any comments or suggestions for another story, let me know. Thank you.